today a lawyer asked me, what do you want to call it? And I said, call what? And he said, well, you're not Iron Circus Comics LLC anymore since you've incorporated as an S Corp. So are you Iron Circus Comics Corporation? Are you Iron Circus Comics Incorporated? It's kind of up to you. And I literally did not answer him. And the phone was quiet for so long that he made an uncomfortable noise. And I said, let me get back to you, because that is a thought I've literally never had. And I still don't know what the fuck I'm going to call myself. I'm Spike.
It's a hell of a problem. I'm Cal.
And I'm Amanda.
Yeah, I've been having all kinds of very weird problems in the last few months of this year. Problems I never anticipated having.
Um, my feet hurt.
I'm sorry to
Congratulations.
hear that. Maybe you need more
They're
supportive shoes.
no, they're covered in blisters, so
Oh,
it's
that'll
not
do it.
supportive shoe problem. It's blisters.
Your feet are rubbing on all the wrong parts of the insides of your
So
shoes.
I'm just making sure I.
No, they're blisters because I was barefoot.
Oh, that'll do it.
Why were you Blair? Why
That's
were you
yeah.
Blairfoot? Why were you barefoot? Tell me, Kel.
So I have
Mhm.
been trying barefoot running because theoretically it is better for your knees and hips.
Ah.
Um, because when you run barefoot, you are forced to land on either the middle or the ball of your foot. So your ankle takes some of the shock absorption rather than all of the shock absorption going straight to your knee.
Mm.
Mhm.
So um, it just takes a while to get used to because your feet are like, I'm not used to touching the ground. Um, how dare you? Um,
Sounds bad.
I have
so
heard this because I used to run fairly regularly, like, like 3 miles a day back when I had the time to give a shit about myself. And
mhm.
I also heard the counterpoint that it's too late for us because we spend most of our lives wearing shoes. And most importantly, we spent our developmental years wearing shoes. So our feet are literally a different shape from someone who has spent most of their life
Well, so
barefoot
this
and
isn't
would
about
benefit
the
from just
shape of your
jogging.
foot. This is about your ankles taking the brunt of the shock absorption rather
Mm,
than your knee.
okay.
Um, because you can run on the ball of your foot with your shoes on. It's just modern
Uncomfortable.
shoes are designed to get you to do a heel strike rather than a ball strike.
Hmm.
So to just sort of retrain your gait, it is better to be barefoot for a little while.
Well, good
And
luck with
then
that.
they're like, "Yep, right now their thing is like, yeah, you'll get blisters, but blisters heal quicker than serious shin splints or like
Hmm.
knee tears.
Yeah,
So
yeah. True,
I just
true.
plan to never run.
Yeah, I really need to
I
get back
have
to
a
that shit.
folding bike. That's it.
I need to get back to that shit. What I ended up doing, like, this was like years ago. When I first got the Iron Circus office, it's about a mile and a half from where I live, and I was walking there and back every day for a couple of years, and I would hit 10,000 steps daily without ever
mhm.
really trying. And one of the nice sort of offshoots of that is after I'd been doing that for like a couple of months, like a couple of months of 10,000 steps a day, I decided, you know what? I'm going to try to get back into running. And shin splints just simply did not occur because of that long
Mhm.
term period of taking so many steps. I had built up all the fascia and tendons and whatnot.
Well,
That
you
was
can
pretty
still
cool.
get shin splints. It's just you get shin splints when you increase distance or amount.
Yeah,
So,
I'm just saying it didn't
um,
happen to me.
yeah. Um,
But yeah, that
I'm
was
saying
that was
that,
nice. And I
yeah.
frittered it away like an idiot.
Again,
Oh.
no
So
running
yeah,
for
so
me.
I'm gonna try barefoot running or getting used to it.
Mhm.
I just ride my stationary bike while I watch anime.
Yes.
I mean, I walk on my treadmill while watching anime, so
I'm just saying, I ain't running. So comics, y'all.
Yeah, hey, comics. What about it, huh?
I don't know. Anyway, I have a
ye-
proposal.
What?
Yes.
I want from here on out, not today, but from here on out, I want our episodes to have subjects that are pre-planned.
Okay.
Okay.
I want us to just start talking about specific things, and I want to spend this episode talking about what?
Okay.
I want to talk about comics.
Yeah, well, yes, obviously. We want to talk about comics. I do kind of want to revisit some things that we talked about in our previous podcast because my opinions have changed.
Okay.
And I just think it'd be
also,
interesting.
Also, the internet has changed.
The internet has changed. But yeah, no.
So, okay.
So that's it. That's my proposal.
I'm down.
What would y'all like to talk about in future episodes? What would be a neat subject to tackle?
I mean, that's kind of why I came in every so often to be like, hey, what's the difference between sci-fi and fantasy? Or
well, I know, but like that stuff like would catch me. Like I mean, you saw how hard I had to think about it.
Well, that's the thing. Those are the things I always want to talk about.
But if I see that shit coming, I'm a little more like adept. Like, because I was just like, oh.
I'm making a very, very important skeet right now.
Yeah.
More. God.
No, it's really important.
I'm on my little island of refusing to call it skeeting.
It has to be done. It has to be done because if it's not done, then no one will know.
I'm gonna hold out.
I absolutely refuse to live in a world of ignorance.
I was just on friend of the show, Iris J's Discworld podcast to talk about werewolves. Because Iris has a podcast where she's reading all of the Discworld books in order and ranking them, and they have gotten to the fifth elephant, which is the werewolf one, or the closest you get to a werewolf one, because it's not really about werewolves, it just has the most werewolves in it. And so I went on a long tangent about how Discworld werewolves are wasted potential, because Terry Pratchett doesn't really dig into them like he does with other stuff. And that makes me sad because I love Discworld and I would have liked it if he had dug into werewolves.
I ain't know jack shit about Discworld.
I skeeted.
No, I'm not even gonna acknowledge you. Because if you use that term, I refuse. I'm a holdout. You are not really changing me.
I'm saying important things. I refuse to remain silent.
I don't care that you're talking. I just refuse to acknowledge you when you refer to it as skeeting.
I did a skeet.
Spike is talking about how they yassified the Quaker Oats guy.
I'm right, though.
Let's go look. Right. Let me go look. Let's see if Meemaw is using yassified wrong again.
They got rid of his double chin.
He's using the good conditioner. He's got wider shoulders. He's got some movement in his cravat.
Okay, so is this on?
I don't know if movement in his cravat necessarily makes yassifying, but I agree with everything else.
That's not yassified.
Yes, it is.
Meemaw's using wrong words again.
No, it's true.
That is not yassified.
I refuse to use silence.
No.
True.
No.
Or look at him. Husband stealing son of a bitch.
No. Words have meaning.
That's a fucking homewrecker of a Quaker Oats fan.
Words have meaning.
He's a homemaker.
I was watching Know Better on the YouTuber Know Better. And he did a whole big thing about how
Here, I guess I'll
people
share it. No, never mind.
People blame
so people know what we're talking about.
People blame religion for America being prude about sex, but really it's vegetarians' fault.
Go on.
And because Europe also had religious people, like religious nuts,
Mhm.
but it was the Kellogg family and their weird only eat grain and don't masturbate and don't have sex cult that really pushed masturbation as unhealthy,
But
like
that was still
because
religious based.
if it was purely from religious reasons, non-religious people wouldn't ever latch on to it, but because he was saying no, scientifically masturbation is bad for you, um is and like was really pushing like um these are like here's my pseudoscience to prove that masturbating messes up your humors.
Some of the best
And
medical illustrations you can find in older medical textbooks are like the
There it
progression
is.
of the masturbator.
yeah.
And like it goes from
So
like average looking
Here is what
17-year-old
Spike
boy to
considers
like
to be
enlarged
yassified.
tongue, fucking drooling, protuberant eyes, balding, all the teeth falling out. It's
yeah,
great.
so like that's the real reason why Americans are prudes is because Kellogg was like masturbation and eating meat makes you not poop enough and then messes up your humors.
But his motivation was still religious based.
But it's because he went with a scientific angle that it latched on a little bit harder than the similar groups in Europe that were purely religious.
One of my favorite sort of relics of American culture is how many foods we eat that started out as health foods and foods
Mm-hmm.
of explicit deprivation to, clear your humors or make your intestinal health better, and they were meant to be almost like food as punishment, like graham crackers and cornflakes and fiber.
Well,
And
it's not
then
necessarily.
capitalism looked at them and went, you know what this needs? It needs a shitload of sugar. And then they became just these massive successes on the consumer market, and they went from these foods of deprivation to like stuff people just eat without thinking
Well,
about.
so that was the thing that he goes over. It wasn't necessarily that they were foods of deprivation. It was him saying like this is the healthiest meal, and while they were bland, people were open to them because they were easier to prepare. Um and then capitalism was like, well, we have the convenience. What if we also put a shit ton of sugar on them?
Yeah, and people are, sweet, this health food rules.
Yeah. So so it's kind of like, so it wasn't necessarily food as punishment. It was just oh, this is healthier for you. And then capitalism was like, but what if it wasn't?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. But anyway, I got the thing about the Quaker Oats guy out of my system because I noticed that a while ago. And I was like, literally no one talks about this. The fucking Quaker Oats guy like got divorced. Something happened. and now I finally got to say it.
Maybe he's masturbating.
Yeah, he's masturbating now. That's why he's got that spring in his step. He's so frantic about it. He's lost like 50 pounds. But yeah. Anyway, if you don't follow me on Blue Sky, this is the kind of scientillating content you're missing.
Yeah,
you
Meemaw
Yes,
using
the
words wrong.
yassification of
No.
Quaker Oats.
No.
The yassification of Quaker Oats, man. I refuse to be silent any longer.
God.
Maybe the himbofication rather than yassifying.
Not
Yeah,
even that. Not even that.
That's true. We don't know how smart he is. So
that's
in either form.
No.
Anyway, hello everyone. Thank you for coming and seeing us and listening to our idiotic conversations. We really appreciate it. Things have been unbelievably busy at Iron Circus, which is why we have missed a lot of semi-recent
That's why you
shows. I
This
just
was
can't.
you
Yeah,
missed it. I said I was
yeah.
ready every single week.
I run a
Um,
fucking $1 million multimedia business.
I'm
It
not
makes me
judging
tired.
you. I'm
It
just
makes me
saying
tired.
I'm just saying you said we.
I have, just for
yeah.
folks who,
You,
some folks in here know this, some don't. There is a thing, it's very cool. It's called DAK board, DAK board. And what it is it's kind of a way of sharing your Google Calendar so that people can see your schedule.
I
And
mean, you can share your Google Calendar without a DAC board, but
yeah, but
go
I
on.
I like it because it's nice and I can just give the link out. Um, but I have sometimes 4 meetings in a day. Sometimes I have 5 meetings in a single fucking day. The meetings
My
can
life is so hard. Everyone wants to date me, and I don't know what purse to buy.
I have 4 fucking meetings a day sometimes, and those meetings have gone on, I swear to God, at least once have gone on for 4 hours. And it's not just us hanging out, it's literally just us trying to do shit. We had a 2.5-hour meeting yesterday
I don't know.
about
I've been a
the
fly on the
website.
wall at least one, and some of it was just talking.
Some of it was, but like we had a 2.5-hour meeting yesterday about the fucking website because the website needs to be completely. The thing about fucking being like a mid-sized business is that you
Oh,
have to
a
go
subject I can relate to. Yes, tell me.
shut up. Shut up. The thing about being a mid-sized business is you have to learn to sort of like unclench, unfurl your hands from certain things and understand you're at the level now where
Oh
you
God,
can't
I forgot to mute Slack. Sorry, everybody. Give me a second.
handle a whole bunch of shit. That is out my Slack, by the way. That's the Art Circus
God damn
Slack.
it.
And yeah, there are people fucking trying to do work shit at fucking 8:19 p.m. So yeah. You have to like specialize. We're kind of in the at the moment right now where Iron Circus is finally by the end of the year, we will no longer be doing our own from the warehouse fulfillment. We have finally hired a dedicated customer service person, which we've been needing for a while. I've delegated the updating of crowdfund uh updates because we have so many going at once. Uh we have dedicated people that do all kinds of little facets of the business. From we have like the book industry promotions person and we have the crowdfund promotions person who are two completely different people, and it's just it takes a lot of coordination, a ton of coordination. And the thing that I keep saying is, like I said this on Blue Sky in the past, is we have to be extra careful these days because if you're running Baby's First crowdfund, right, and you're
Mhm.
funding your zine and you miscalculate shipping, or shipping becomes a quarter more expensive in the time it takes you to fulfill it, oops, you end up paying $97 more than you thought you would. Oh well, whoopsie. But once the
Hey,
crowdfund starts entering the 7-figure range, those little whoopsies, that's like $200,000. So what's been consuming a lot of our time for the past few weeks is the fulfillment page for the Lackadaisy crowdfund. We have to make sure everything is as accurate as possible so we don't get speared like a whale when the time comes to fulfill and just utterly destroyed. Because a mistake when it's $1,000 crowdfund sort of maxed out to a $2 million crowdfund, it's a house losing mistake.
since I have you trapped and you're talking about business, did you look over the document I sent you?
I did. It looks good.
Do I have approval?
You do.
Okay, cool. Hooray! Business
Yay.
happened live. You were
Business,
part of it.
business,
You all got to
numbers.
see it.
Numbers.
Business. Um,
Hooray! I
Yeah,
got to
that's kind of what I've been
soundproof
dealing
my
with.
living room briefly.
And I have to be honest, there are some days I'm just like, I can't fucking do it. And I just like, it's like the workday is over. It is 3:00 and the workday is over. I can't do this right now. And I just go and I literally go to bed because I'm an old fucking woman. I go to bed at like 5 and just lie there.
Wee.
Exciting. Don't be me.
I haven't been able to play RimWorld in weeks.
Oh.
I made a mistake. So I haven't played my I've talked about it before, the dinosaur role-playing game I play. I haven't played it in months because it's one of those things where, you're playing with people and it's a survival game and sometimes you end up with a several-hour commitment and I'm like, I can't do that anymore.
Amanda, this is reminding me. I saw a game. I saw a game and I bet you'd like it.
What is it?
It's called Paleopastors.
It's already on my Steam wish list.
Oh, okay. For folks who haven't heard of it, it's very Stardew Valley, but what if dinosaurs?
What if very fat, cute dinosaurs?
Yes, they are pastel colored and just they have like little saddles and bridles. They're very cute.
My birthday is next month. I
So
want
it's got that classic,
offerings.
Japanese RPG farm sim opening where it's just like, oh wow, here's the farm distant relative let me. It sure is a mess. It's just this time, a dinosaur helps you clean up the farm. You can find like 100 days in paleo pasture playthroughs on YouTube if you are curious. It's very cute.
But yeah, so in that game, like you start out as like in the game I already play. You start out as like a baby dinosaur, and then you have to slowly grow it over time.
Mhm.
And I accidentally got committed to helping someone grow, and I was like, oh no, I don't have time for this, but that would be.
I'm not ready for this child.
So, I was like, yeah, no, it's like I don't have time for this kind of commitment, but it would be rude. I guess this is what I'm doing. And then another friend was like, do you want to play Warframe with me? I'm like, I can't. I have a child who's probably like a 40-year-old person, but they are my child for the next hour.
This is the Isle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's like the
Yeah,
realistic dinosaur game.
Yeah. The broken game I don't recommend to anyone, not even the new version.
Ouch. Okay. What's horrible about it?
It's broken. They never finished it.
They
genuinely
it's not
never
under development anymore.
Well, so they were developing it until a few years ago when they decided we're just gonna redo it. So now they've been building a new version, so you can still play the old version, and the new version's of course not done yet, and the new version has its own problems. I don't play it. It's garbage. How
many games in your Steam library do you have that are like abandoned and never finished?
Well, I never finish any game because I don't like to
No,
finish games.
not yours. Abandoned by the dev team.
Oh, the dev? Not a lot?
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I don't play a lot of games, Spike.
I got a whole bunch.
On my one Steam account, I just have the Isle, Jackbox games, Planet Zoo, RimWorld, Warframe, Wobble Dogs. Oh God, I still have Wolf Quest.
Aww.
And then my other account, I forget what I got, but it's a lot of stuff, and I just don't play a lot of games, so I don't know. It's really hard to get like a game that never gets finished if you just never play games.
Yeah, I backed a bunch of video game Kickstarters, so I've got my share.
And I'm also one of those, I mentioned it before, I'm a one game at a time person. Like, yeah, that's just how it is. I can't hop between games.
I own the new Zelda, but I haven't started it yet. I told myself I can't start it until I finish writing Blue Moon. And I am going to stick to that. So it will be my reward for finishing Blue Moon. Then I can play Zeldas. And have the wonderful world of building Legos in Zelda.
I'm looking up. So, Nudist in the chat was talking about Saurian. I've never played Saurian. So I'm looking at it now.
But other games that I own but haven't started playing yet. I do have Pathologic 2. So I'm going to embrace suffering and play that.
My thing is, like, games make me lonely.
Aww.
So I usually like to play games where I can play with people.
Sure.
If I don't have that aspect of a game, I kind of like, unless it's a simulation game. Simulations are different. I get lost in the weeds with those.
Yeah,
like, I just get sucked in and I never come back up for air.
Yeah,
I am the opposite of you, Amanda. When I play a game, I do not want to talk to anybody.
Same.
Everyone else can go fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
I got super worried when Starfield came out because all my Warframe friends were like, "Oh, we're gonna go play Starfield," and I was like, "No, don't leave, don't leave me. I will not follow you if you go. I'm not playing that game."
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I'm kind of Team Kill. I really enjoy games where, I can just sit down and ignore the world for like an hour and a half and play my little game that has nothing to do with anybody else. That is my
Oh,
preference.
I have never played a game only for an hour and a half. When I play a game, that's what I'm doing all day. That's because I know myself. No matter what I think I'm going to do besides that game, it's just going to be that
I
game.
just love
Yeah.
cooperative games. I love it when you're all like synergized and you're on a team and you're all doing stuff. And it's fun. I love it. I love cooperative games and I love teams and I like
The
laughing and
only
talking
cooperative
with people.
game that I like is Don't Starve Together.
I like a game I've been playing a lot of lately is well, I always have RimWorld on, although it's not really safe to say like I'm playing it because it is so loaded down with mods these days. It's like maybe it has like a 75% chance of actually launching when I launch it. So when I launch it, I have a tendency to just leave it on. So it's on for like 40, 50 hours at a time and then I play like 2 hours of that. So its statistics on Steam can no longer be trusted. But one of the games that I've been playing a bunch lately is actually a new one because it got a little update and it's called Kingdoms and Castles and you're just building a little kingdom and these little polygon people hopping all over the place and building like wells to put fires out and archer towers to take down dragons. It's really cute. And
Oh my
I just
god.
like managing little kingdoms like that. And I'm also playing Shadows of Doubt, which was gifted to me. And it's very much a me game because it's got that whole angle where it lets me feel clever, which is very important to me. And it's also just, a thing you can play by yourself and it's roguelike. And so it's kind of a new set of everything that every time you restart the game. And it is a roguelike PI story. Like, so you are a detective trying to freelance solve crimes in a city, and it's super cool. Like, for example, something will go out over the radio like, "Oh, dead body found at this address." And you go to that address and you try and pull fingerprints and you go through their stuff and see about, what sort of disagreements they had with people or who they knew, and you interrogate people. You can crawl through air conditioning ducts to access apartments, and you can, do citizens arrests and you get paid for doing that. It's pretty cool. Shadows of Doubt. It's
So you dream of being a cop. Got
Oh
it.
yes, absolutely. I covet the power of
Oh
cops.
my god. While I was not paying attention, Wobble Dogs updates happened.
Yay!
There's a
So you heard it first. Spike is a cop.
I'm a cop. It's me. I'm a cop.
Wobble Dogs updates. Ah!
Also, Potion Craft is kind of cute, but I think everybody knows about Potion Craft.
I guess I'm gonna dive back into Wobble Dogs at some point.
Mhm.
I love my freak dogs.
With like 8 heads.
No, I don't
I also
like
need to get
those
back
'cause it's
into
hard to
Disco
feed
Elysium
them.
because everybody's all like, "Oh, that's your fucking game." And I
Yeah,
have
I
played a
do
little
need to
of it,
finish that.
and it's good. It's really good. I really like it, but it seems like the kind of game that demands 100% of your attention while you're playing it.
It
And so
does.
it falls into the same category as shows that demand 100% of my attention while I watch it. It has to have special time carved out for it. I can't just have it open in a tab while I'm doing something else.
You know,
That's why I like Warframe right
maybe
now. I can hop in and play it for 5 minutes, or I can go in and play for hours. It's
Yeah.
whatever I want to do that day.
Yeah.
Twitch let me claim my drop.
Oh dear.
I need to finish Disco Elysium and I need to finish The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Sorry, speaking of
Disco
Warcraft,
Elysium
I had a Twitch
definitely.
drop waiting for me.
And if anyone here, this is one of those things where I think a lot of people know about it. A lot of people know it and love it. But there's this whole swath of people that I think it would be perfect for who aren't even aware it exists. And there is a game called Streets of Rogue. And if anyone here is looking for a game where I need to kill an hour, it's like this is the perfect game for you. And Streets of Rogue is this giant multi-level, randomly generated city where you have to navigate your way through to win the mayorship. So you become the mayor of the city. And you can start as a whole bunch of different things, including a gorilla, a werewolf. I've beaten it as a werewolf. That's probably one of the easier ways to beat it. You can be a mad scientist, you can be a pickpocket, you can be a mutant.
Can I be a rat?
You can be a tiny person.
No, not the same.
No.
That's not a rat.
And you know this.
Well, like a rat, you can jump into a toilet and use the sewer system to navigate your way around the map so people don't catch you.
No. No.
But yeah, Streets of Rogue is really fun because, you have different powers depending on what you are. Like if you're a hacker, you can be like a hacker, you can hack computers and turn the defense systems of various buildings against the owners of the building. And if you're a cop, you can actually arrest people. If you're a guerrilla, no one understands anything you're saying, so you can't recruit anyone and you can't talk your way out of situations. If you're a cannibal, you can eat people to get, your hit points back, and you have inhuman strength and everyone's terrified of you.
Why would you have inhuman strength?
Because you're a cannibal. That's how it works.
You would have to be stronger than regular people to overpower them and eat them.
Yeah, and you can be a zombie and a cat burglar and a firefighter. And if you're a firefighter, all the other firefighters automatically really like you, so you can recruit them without any issue. It's just a really fun game. It's just really cool. And it's very simple. They're about to have a sequel too, so I bet the real game will probably have a major price drop soon. Streets of Rogue 2, sensibly enough.
Warframe is about to have an update with a Warframe, and it's a lady who doesn't have a face, and her thighs are so thick. Her thighs are so thick,
it's
y'all.
It's what Amanda truly cares about.
Look. She's so scary and hot.
I'm glad I showed you that clown webcomic. I hope you're reading it.
I put it in my Feedly. I use Feedly to keep track of webcomics now because social media is dying. But yes, I popped it in. I will give it a look.
Good.
But do you like webcomics? Are you sad that social media is dying? Use services like Feedly to keep track of your webcomics.
Yes. Stop living in walled gardens. Make sure you are the curator of your webcomic experience.
I have been reading the manga Dan to Dan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to share with both of you pages from its first chapter that are a good exemplification on why you should read Dan to Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going back to RSS? I mean, technically, a lot of things have already been functioning using RSS. It's just you never had to get the RSS feeds yourself. Services were doing all that in the background for you. This is just more manually. Go get it. Go grab it.
Also, this is reminiscent of a conversation my husband and I have been having pretty frequently these days, where we'll see people say something along the lines of, I want to join Blue Sky, but, it doesn't have nearly as many people on it as other app. And neither he nor myself are fully convinced just having the most massive clot of humanity in one space at any one time should be the decider for where you decide to go.
I think it could be the people that I want to keep up with aren't already on there, or they aren't moving over there.
Yeah, that's a different reason to not want to go, though. Like, just saying I'm not going to do it because it's not the biggest one. Like, that should not be the thing that decides. That's like, I refuse to move to San Francisco because it's not the biggest city in the U.S.
I mean,
like, there should be more that goes into the decisions you make than that.
I mean, when it comes to social media, I don't think that's a bad stance because a lot of people only have the time and energy to. They got to pick one that they're going to put their energy in.
Yeah, but I would argue that time and energy is better spent in a place that better suits you, even if that place is like 1/10 of the size.
Right, but here's the thing. That's fine, but we don't even know if Blue Sky better suits anyone.
I know it better suits me than other places I've considered.
You.
Yeah. But so when someone, though, is complaining that it doesn't have as many people, it's because they were using other social medias to keep track of multiple communities at once.
Well,
So
I'm not
in
going to
their
speak
mind,
for what they think, what they were using their social media
well,
for.
this is where I'm saying this is where the complaint comes from, is that they want as many people as possible in one place so they don't have to divide their attention, but can keep track of more than one thing using just one social media.
And it's not just that. If you're using a social media platform as promotion for your work, discoverability and ability to get it to different people you could not have reached otherwise is a big factor.
Okay, but counterpoint. Threads is massive compared to Blue Sky.
Yeah.
I have no desire to put any sort of self-promotional effort into Threads because quality matters more than quantity.
No, I
And it's
agree
what
with you
true
there.
that no social media platform these days is inert. They all have algorithms which prioritize and deprioritize, even
Yeah.
Blue Sky. So Facebook is going to run on the engine that has made Facebook what it is now, and that is prioritizing paying customers to be put in front of captive audiences. I have no interest in trying to establish a presence for either myself or Iron Circus on Threads because I will be competing against not only fucking like Jake Paul and Nabisco for people's valuable attention, but I will be competing for the kind of person who is trying to scroll through their feeds and thinks it's totally okay that Jake Paul and Nabisco are injected into their feed, whether they want them there or not.
And I don't disagree with you on that. I'm just saying that I don't think that the person who's like, I'm waiting to see which one gets big is necessarily doing things wrong.
Well, I didn't say they were saying they're waiting to see which one gets big. I said they didn't like the idea of Blue Sky because it wasn't the biggest.
Yeah. And I only switched over
and those people
recently
have
because
Facebook.
it got more people on it.
Yeah, and I'm not convinced. I mean, here's the thing, and I say this as a person who,
I don't
when I run a
particularly
crowdfund,
like Blue Sky yet.
Yeah, it's like I say this as a person who, when I run a crowdfund, I buy a shitload of Facebook ads. I bought over $100,000 worth of Facebook ads for Lackadaisy alone, and I do it again because it works. But like that's different.
This discussion aside, you're both ignoring the great manga pages I have put in Discord.
Here's the thing, Kel. I looked at them, but I don't understand. They didn't do anything for me. So that's why I didn't react. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Fair enough. Out of context, they're probably not going to be that great.
Is this a comedy?
Yeah, it's an action comedy.
Okay.
This ghost lady is gonna steal that guy's dick.
Okay, I got you. Sorry, I wasn't into what I saw. Sorry.
I have his schlong now. As long as I have his schlong, the curse of the youngster will remain. If you want it back, then come to the tunnel. Why would I want his schlong back? He can get his own schlong back.
That is the plot of the first arc, is they have to get his dick back from
Well, he can do it by
ghost.
himself. That's his problem.
He is a meek little man who needs to be protected.
Then he'll be fine.
I'm not saying it's not a funny comic. Those pages didn't do much for me. That's all. But
yeah. I am among the people who I literally could not bring myself to sign up for Threads. Like, it was nauseating what I saw. And it's by and large, there's like a difference in my mind. There is a difference between attempting to establish a social presence on a platform and utilizing what the platform has made to promote yourself. Those are two different things. And I am not willing to give my time and my rhetoric and my general cleverness and, affability to Facebook. I'm just fucking not. I don't think it would serve me well there. And I think the calculated choice that I have made is I am happier on the smaller platform, Blue Sky, because I think that's where, air quotes, my people go, like the internet poisoned sort of, post-ironic.
And that is completely fair. But I did not switch over to Blue Sky until there were enough people there.
Fair enough. But as a habitual ground floorer, I don't regret getting there early.
I mean,
I
there's
think
nothing to
it's
regret.
good
It's just a platform.
I don't think I wasted my time. I think I have more followers now, and I will accrue followers at a greater rate because it'll be an exponential gain. Because I wasn't like first in line because I didn't have access, but I was early enough. And I think it will pay dividends in the future.
Yeah, but that's not going to be for everybody.
No, but we're talking specifically about it in terms of using it as a self-promotional presence on the internet.
I mean, that's
some
good.
people
That's
don't
still,
want to do that.
I know that still remains to be seen because the site's still in beta and it still doesn't work. There are a lot
it
of
works
things.
fine for me. I literally use it every day, and I don't have a ton of complaints. So
there's just a lot of tools it doesn't have, and it's lacking.
Yeah.
And it's really just for posting statuses. That's all it does.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not for everybody.
Yeah. Well, nothing is really. Anything that is should be looked at with suspicion.
Well, yeah. Madam, please.
Anyway, my Quaker Oats yassified guy.
He's not yassified.
Yes, he is.
No.
It's
Stop
doing
using
numbers.
words wrong, Grandma.
Yassified. Yes, it's doing
I'm going to
numbers.
sick the children on you.
He's doing numbers.
I'm going to sick the children on you.
But that is my opinion.
Ravioli, please get your.
I get so much engagement from things on Blue Sky. It's bizarre. It's true. It's true. I have functionally boarded up a 70K Twitter, and I think at this point, with less than 10K on Blue Sky, I get an equal amount of engagement.
We get a lot of engagement, but we're also not competing with a lot, and it's a certain kind of person who's on it now, and that's not going to be the final audience when it opens up.
Well, no, nothing's ever at its final audience till the moment it dies.
I know. I'm just saying. I don't like the idea of like promoting Blue Sky as it is now. Like that's how it's going to be.
I mean, that's fair enough. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just saying that, like, in my opinion right now, I see the value in ground flooring things. I ground floored Kickstarter. I ground floored BackerKit, and I didn't quite not really ground floor Blue Sky, but I was in the door early. And I find when I do that, when I get established, when someone a year from now, when I got in, like gets their Blue Sky account and they see that I'm on there with 2,000 ski and I'm active and I'm doing shit every day, they're like, oh, okay. And they are more likely to follow me and stick around. And that's worked for me. And I get saying I'm going to hold out until it's more popular because, people's time is precious and whatever. And they want to do social media as little as possible if they're not inclined to just sort of do it casually. Okay. Right. But I go with what works and it's working. So.
Okay.
I'm dying.
Also, yeah, username is always a thing. There are platforms I will never fucking touch, but I made sure to get on there and get Iron Spike just to be safe. Because you never know. Maybe Elo will blow up next year. Who knows? Probably not. But, if it does, I want to be Iron Spike on there. All one word. I didn't get it on Twitter. By God, that's the last time that'll happen. Ooh, is someone burpy?
Huh?
Someone's burpy, I think.
I'm smacking my cat.
Oh, okay. I thought someone was like hitting their chest.
No, I'm smacking my cat.
All right. Hello, Ravioli. Ooh, attractive. Oh, there she is.
There's Ravioli.
One. Hey, are you aware of the subreddit One Orange Brain Cell?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Definitely. How many brain cells does Ravioli have?
Just the one.
Oh no, it's 0. Oh no, it's 0.
I don't know if orange cats have an actual sort of reputation or not, but
no. I mean, it's based on just basically stereotypes. It's
yeah. Everyone is all like, "I hate my cat. She's perfect."
Oh yes. Nope, you're done. No more. No more. I'm doing a thing.
Yes, they are.
Listen, you little shit.
I love comics.
I do too. I have been reading Roboco and Me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
good?
It's pretty good, except for like I got to this one part. It's like, you know when you're like getting into a comic, like, oh, I like this. Maybe I'll recommend this to people. And you get to a comic and you go, I don't know if I can recommend this to people anymore.
Mhm.
Oh no.
Yep, I've had moments like that.
What's wrong with it?
So there's a character in the comic. The joke is he kind of looks like a cute little gorilla boy, and they call him Gorilla, and he's just a cute little dude.
Oh, you did tell me
yes.
about this, but yeah.
And the characters were, oh god, the characters were like doing a parody of The Promised Neverland, and they got him to play the part of the black lady. And it was
Maybe
just the one who makes all
not.
the really exaggerated faces, so he was making, and I was just sitting there reading this quietly going, that, because like right before I started reading that specific issue, I was like, this is nice, I think, oh, this is really funny, I think I'll recommend it to,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you're like, never mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep,
great,
yep, yep.
great. Every recommendation's gonna have to come with a little like, here's the disclaimer I wrote ahead of time. And then you get past that, and it never happens again. It's like, why did you have to do it here? Ah!
Yeah.
Anyway,
I had a moment like that with One Punch Man where I was super duper enjoying it, and I thought it was goofy and fun. And then it got to the character Pretty Pretty Prisoner,
okay,
and I was like, oh,
yeah.
okay. No, I guess I can't ever say I like this ever again.
Yeah, it's like I still really like Royal Become Me. It's like it's one of those things. It's one of those things like did the main guy who make it? No, was this intentional? Was this an accident? It's so hard to know when it's from like a different country. But at the same time, it's like, God damn it, you could have not, you motherfucker.
That reminds me. So in the 3rd season of Atlanta, they're on tour in Europe, and it's Christmas time.
Oh, I know where this is going. Yeah.
Yeah, so that character is presented before them, and they were like, "What's up with the blackface?" And the guy who's like their driver is like, "No, that's Santa's buddy."
No, it's not.
Blah blah blah, and he's like, "Well, looks like blackface, but I respect the attempt at a rebrand."
And that's basically what it is. They're trying to rebrand now. It feels to me like they're in that awkward 15 to 20 year period before they just stop doing it because they can no longer like pretend credibly that's what's going on. For folks who don't know, folks who don't read David Sedaris.
Changed his appearance. But yeah, because like Santa's helper on the surface is not problematic.
No. Yeah,
his appearance.
Yeah, everyone talks about Santa's helpers.
Yeah,
sure.
so they could just, give him a different look.
Yeah,
they could do that.
But they have been sort of doing that, depending on where you're looking. Also, I think some context or some people might not know what we're talking about.
Yeah, okay. In certain middle European countries, not all of them, but some of them, and I think particularly in Switzerland as well, Santa has slaves. He has a handful of slaves, usually, I believe, according to David Sedaris, agreed to be between 3 and 5, and they are gollywogs in appearance, which means
6 to 8.
I thought it was between, okay,
Yeah,
like the number doesn't super matter, but it's a number of them, and they are gollywog in appearance, which means they have pitch black skin and bright red like donut lips. And this was super okay and nobody cared until like maybe the last 20 years. And after a certain point where this became kind of widely known outside the area, it was part of the popular mythos. And when I say part of the popular mythos, it's not like they tried to hide it. It's like when they had Christmas parade, there would be Santa with his like handful of gollywog slaves in the sleigh with him. And now they say they aren't slaves, they're just Santa's good friends and helpers. Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like, don't fucking...
The other thing the guy on Atlanta, while explaining it, said, he's like, well, he's not black, he's just covered in coal.
Which is also a lie, because they're specifically Santa's little gollywog slaves. And
Yeah,
it's
but
gross, and it's very much past due to not do that anymore. But you know how certain people are with traditions and not caring how other people feel.
Yep.
mhm.
Yep.
So yeah. Also, if in case you folks didn't know, and it'd be fine if you didn't, because who in the world cares about this sort of thing? There is a giant dome in Las Vegas
Oh yeah,
that
the
was
dome.
recently finished,
Yep. Yep.
and you can see it from like a mile away.
Yeah.
And they have started putting very goofy things on this
Oh
dome.
yes, I
So it's
love
like
the
you'll wake
dome.
up and look out the window, and there'll be just sort of like an emoji face on it,
Yeah.
and it'll like look at you and
The
wink.
dome is the future I've been waiting for.
The Las Vegas Dome. Let me see what the actual name of it is before I go on.
Like
talking
everybody's like,
about
oh,
it.
we're like, oh, the top. Whenever everybody designs like this is what futuristic shit's gonna look like. I'm like, no, none of y'all
Okay,
have it right.
apologies. It's called, the official name, everyone, if you would like to Google it, is the Sphere at the
Sphere.
Venetian
That's
Resort.
a stupid name because it's not a full
The
sphere.
Sphere.
That's a goddamn hemisphere.
Yeah, if you just Google Las Vegas
Okay, maybe it's
Sphere,
slightly more than a hemisphere.
you will see the various things they are doing to it. They enjoy putting the emoji face on it. They enjoy putting a giant eyeball on it, which I think is kind of gross.
The
And they're
eyeball
also
is amazing. Excuse me.
Ugh.
No, I love it. I love the
And
giant
then,
gross eyeball.
celestial bodies. They like to put some celestial bodies on there.
love
That's
gross
pretty cool too.
eyeballs.
And of course, balls. So tennis ball, basketball, soccer
Scrotes.
ball.
Big
No
hairy
scrotes yet.
scrotes.
No scrotes yet.
Big hairy scrotes.
But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and
Yes, the
just
an
sort
orb
of
for
share.
pondering.
Maybe Amanda, you can stick this in the chat so people
Ravioli,
can
no!
see it. That is the kind of thing that is showing up on the Sphere, and
It's great.
yeah, yeah, you see, it's just kind of like,
I love it. Okay, let me
It's wonderful.
let me just grab it real quick.
You're just
I,
trying
just
to like,
I
kinda,
wish that everything didn't have to be adding a new source. I'm gonna delete all these later, but yeah.
yeah, it's a weird one. And since it's October, they're probably
There
putting
he is.
jack-o'-lanterns on it and stuff. So. So you're just trying to live your life, and that thing is just.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been rereading Chainsaw Man because that shit slaps.
That shit slaps.
Uh-huh. God, I bet like being in the Sphere is expensive.
I don't know. It depends what's in there.
Like what is in it? Like it can't be. It's not like a round building. It's probably a
It's
square
some
building
kind
in
of
there.
some kind of auditorium.
Yeah. But no, new Chainsaw Man also slaps. Continues to be really fucking weird and funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love Asa.
Ravioli, no! Stop that! Yeah.
Get control of your filthy child, Amanda.
I know
She
some
is
people
peeling
who
my
stopped.
rug up and eating it. Stop it.
I know some people who stopped reading because Power's not in the second arc.
Uh-huh.
Dumbasses, they're
and
missing out on so many cool idiot
They're
women.
missing out on great, awesome moments. I mean, she knows all the fish facts. What's not to love?
No, this is full of so many women who are garbage and stupid as shit. I love them.
And I
Yeah.
like it when female characters are allowed to be garbage. I like that a lot.
So many. Stop trying to eat the carpet. Ravioli.
There's I feel like the beginning of the second arc, Denji really has here Kylo Ren has an 8-pack energy. Because he is people don't know that he is Chainsaw Man while he hangs out with normal teenagers, and he is very much like talking up Chainsaw Man. Like
Mhm.
so he's pretty cool, right? Like
It's
I think
very
I've mentioned it on here before, but I would like to go to Vegas and just not do
Take
any
me with
gambling
you.
whatsoever. And
Take
part of
me
that
with you.
is I definitely want to go to see the Sphere, even if it's just from the
I'd
exterior.
like to
Just like look
go.
at it.
We need to go to
Yeah.
that adult entertainment convention.
I don't know so much about that anymore. I might just be going to Licensing Expo.
Well,
that
then
might be
take me
more
there. I
appropriate.
want to go to the licensing expo. Let's go. Road trip.
Yeah, I just need to justify it
Rent
first.
a van.
Rent a van. Rent a van.
Yes.
Yeah, I honestly haven't driven since I was 19. So if we did, you'd be doing literally all the driving. So,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
That's my thing. That's what I do. I'm the person who drives, especially since I moved to Chicago. That's my thing.
We'll
Amanda
be
is the person who drives everybody.
we'll be like those IRL streamers who just get an RV and just drive around the country streaming.
I do kind of want to start harness trading Ravioli and see if she could be a road trip buddy like Mito used to do.
Aw.
Mito was such a good road trip buddy. I'd love to have another road trip buddy cat.
Do you know what IRL
Ravioli,
streamers
no!
do? Do you know what IRL streamers do?
Yes, I know
No.
what they do, but my
They
evil cat's
they
trying
get
to
these
eat my
RVs
rug.
and they go all around the country and they stream everything they do. And pretty much 90% of what they do is get blind drunk and hit each other and destroy the RV.
No.
And that's what IRL streamers do.
No.
Cool.
She's
Yeah,
breaking my calves. Help.
It's wild because Andy Dick joins them sometimes, and so it's like an actual famous person is like in
I
the
mean,
van with them.
they probably have drugs and he needs them.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
needs
that's
those
actually a big
drugs.
part of it. That's actually a huge part of it. He has
now,
gone
now
very
we know-
downhill.
He's always been on all the drugs.
Yeah.
Like, I think
His-
I knew that Andy Dick did all the drugs. As soon as I knew who Andy Dick was.
Mhm. Yeah, he is kind of a gross, huge mess, and
I see what it is, you demon.
and it's been a perpetual thing. But yeah, IRL streamers are Andy just needs a place to sit. Yes, Kristen Chandy, absolutely. he's that much of a huge fucking mess. There was actually a period where he got jumped on the street and he was just all like bloody and swollen and beaten up. And he was just sitting on a live stream silent while people were begging him to like, get cleaned up and like go to rehab.
Why?
He just wasn't saying anything, just sitting there
You have
with like
so
half his
many
face looking like
toys.
Mr. Potato Head.
You have so many toys and so many scratching posts and so many beds. Why are you after my carpet?
You're just a
I'm
bad parent,
also-
Amanda.
Ah!
I'm also rereading Monster,
Uh-huh.
and Monster's very good.
Good.
Shonen Jump's been running a new series and I don't fucking get it.
What?
Like maybe it's just taking a while to take off, but I'm still reading going, I don't know what the
What's the
sweet.
title?
Shit, what's it called? You
Mm.
Mama Yu something. Oh no, one of the characters named Mama Yu. Let me look it up real quick. It's one of those things where I'm reading it. It's like a lot of stuff you read and you go, okay, I know what this is gonna be, and this one's like, I don't know what it's gonna be. What is the tone? Oh, it is Mama Yu. It's Mama Yu. I just what is the
Is
plot?
that the one where he's the chosen one and
Yes.
she's the demon lord?
Yes.
Okay. I read the beginning of that and I was like, I don't actually care about this.
I've seen so many come and go, and I just want to no, this is a new one. I'm gonna read a new one, and I don't fucking know where we're going. I don't understand the tone. I don't understand where is this going? Is this just because it's a slow burn kind of thing, or is it this is just badly written? I don't know yet. I don't know. Yet.
I think it's badly written.
Usually the simplest answer is the right one, so.
I need to read the one about that elf. Begins with an F. But so one of the newer ones on Shonen Jump is this the stereotypical adventurers they've saved the world, hurrah. And now what do they do now that they have saved the world? And it follows the elf character who's going to live longer than the rest of the team.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's kind of most of the other characters, because they're humans, this is the peak of their existence, but because she's gonna live 90 bazillion centuries, this is just the beginning of her life. So it's like the elf equivalent of she peaked at 15.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that looks interesting.
Okay.
But
Should
yeah, I'm
I
sure.
know who
You know.
Darren Aronofsky is? Is he like a famous dude?
I don't fucking know.
I
That
gotta
sounds
Google
familiar. So he is probably famous.
him. Darren Aronofsky. Why do I
You
know
know I
you?
don't
What do
know
you do?
things.
He does. Let's see what you have done,
he
Darren
made
Aronofsky.
movies.
Filmography. That's what I want. Okay, he has
Okay,
done.
he made Black Swan. Okay.
Okay.
And Requiem for a Dream
Never
and
seen
Oh, and
it.
The
Pi.
Fighter.
Never seen it.
Okay.
So he's made some good movies.
Yeah, Pi is good shit.
Never seen
So
it.
The
Yeah.
Wrestler is good shit.
Never seen it.
I heard Whale is not good shit.
Never seen it.
Whale is interesting, but I can tell you right now, Wrestler is good shit.
Mm-hmm.
For folks who have never seen The Wrestler, oh, it's so good. Like, okay, basically, it's just about a washed up professional wrestler, like from fake WWF, like clearly supposed to be referential of that. And his name was Randy the Ram. And, he had his like special wrestler move where he would do this flying jump off of the ropes with his index fingers held to the side of his head because he's a ram and he's butting you, like so that was his deal. But it's not about him at his height, it's about him when he's basically washed up. He
Mm-hmm.
is just kind of a mess, and even though wrestling is air quotes fake, it still takes a lot out of your body, so he's like super banged up. And when you first see him, he's literally
wrestling's
living
not fake. It's just a performance.
yeah, it's a perform. Okay, all right. But he is really banged up, and he is on like a lot of drugs to kind of like keep going. And this is largely because he was also on a lot of drugs to sort of like steroids when he was right there, in the midst of it, trying to keep his spot. And it's not so much about him trying to recapture his old glory, although that's a big part of it. It's about him just trying to hold on because like
Mm-hmm.
the downhill, the angle is getting steeper all the time. And it's just it's very much my kind of movie. I really, really like it.
Have you seen Mother?
I have not.
I
Of
heard
course
that
you
one
have
was
not.
really weird. Like I don't know. I've heard mixed, like weird in a good way, weird in a bad way. So I kind of
Mhm.
want to see it because even if it's bad, at least it's weird.
Hey, Spike.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, I'll let y'all finish talking about Darren. What's his face? Then I'll ask this.
Aronofsky.
Yeah. So I just heard that Mother is weird, and I was like, okay, even if it's bad weird, I might want to see it just because for the novelty.
Mhm.
And even the movies of his that I didn't like have been at least well made. So
Yeah, he's got interesting ideas, if nothing else.
I do
Requiem for
really
a
like
Dream.
Black Swan. I
Yeah.
really like Black Swan. I'm aware that it's just Perfect Blue,
Mm-hmm.
but ballerinas instead of pop stars.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's still good.
Yeah. For folks who haven't seen it too, like I think like his first film was something called Pi, which is very art house, and I think that puts people off because it was like all black and white, but it's very, very good. And it's just basically about a guy who is a mathematical genius. And
He's
he
gonna
can
try to predict the future with math.
no, not quite, not quite. He programs a computer to try and make himself rich by predicting the stock market, but that is not what happens.
No,
Basically, he
the
discovers
people who are funding him want to predict the stock market. He wants to predict the future in general.
but he bumps into a Hasidic Jew who does mathematical research on the Torah, and he basically thinks what he has functionally found is an equation, a life equation. And so this dude shows up and goes, hey, you need to stop because you are actually fucking around in God's domain. You're using math to sort of explore divinity, and if you keep doing this, it's gonna end bad for you. And it's strongly implied that the number he got his computer to spit out at some point is the actual name of God. So Pi is really I really like Pi.
Yeah.
Pi is good shit.
Pie is very good. And yeah.
Oh no! God damn
What?
it.
What?
Oh, there's a special presentation of The Boy and the Heron at, and it's rush only. Damn it!
It's Rush only?
It's sold out. It's sold out.
Oh, well.
I'm sad.
Where was this?
The Music Box Theater?
Fuck. I should check the music box.
I'm subscribing. I'm going to. Anyway.
Maybe we can find it in IMAX.
Oh, good luck. It's only being I've been looking.
Yeah, if you find it, let me know because
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you if because surely there's going to be more Boy and the Heron showings in Chicago. Do you want to see it with me?
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
it's fucking sold out.
Yeah,
At
yeah,
IMAX.
yeah. I know. I fucked up. Wah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed now.
But anyway,
Damn it.
if I keep looking and I keep my eyes peeled, would you be interested in seeing it? In
Yes,
theaters?
and
Okay.
when if you see it, like, don't even wait. Just get 3 tickets, one for me, one for Matt, one for you, and
Okay.
maybe one for whoever else wants to come.
Yeah,
Like, just
okay.
buy them all. You know we're good for it. We'll pay you back.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I just realized, like, suddenly, like, wait a second. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I don't know.
Except don't do it for next week because Matt won't be here for next week.
Well, yeah. I'll keep my eyes peeled. I just suddenly realized I should be doing that. And I couldn't remember if you like going. Well, to be fair, I hate going to theaters, but I'll do it for special occasions.
Miss Alizmere, you should definitely watch. Oh, Pi is so fucking good. Like, I think one of the first scenes in it, which like immediately drags you in, is this dude. He's super like not social. He is not socially aware or socially interested. And so, like, kind of the one person he has casual conversations with is this little girl who lives in the building with him. And when she hears him going to his apartment, like going through the hallway, she runs out of her own apartment, clutching a calculator, and she fucking like starts trying to get him to do complex equations while she punches the number in the calculator. And she's just delighted how quickly he can do math in his head. So he'll just be walking in the door and she'll run out with the calculator going 489,364 times 9,876 while she's punching it into the calculator, and he'll start answering it before she's done. It's really great.
So the one other important thing, like with the whole like, oh, did he find God in math? Is he is mentally ill and schizophrenic, so this all might be in his head, and it does not give you a conclusive answer.
Like all the good movies, it just fucking doesn't even tell you.
Yeah.
I gotta rewatch that. Man, I haven't seen Pi in years. That's the problem, though. We live in such a time of fucking plenty these days. Like, so much
signed
good
up for
shit.
So many notifications for this movie.
Like, we live in such a time of plenty where people who want to be creative have access to the tools they need to express their visions more readily and easily than ever before. So, yeah, like, we're getting a lot of trash, but we're also getting a lot of really, really good shit.
Oh, yeah.
And there is more good shit out there than, one person can reasonably watch. So going back and watching stuff from like 10 years ago that I know is good, it's like, don't do that. Look at new stuff.
I mean, I am probably going to be seeing the Five Nights at Freddy movie in theaters. This is just who I am.
I will not judge.
This is just who I am. I'm broken. I have to.
I keep meaning to see the Barbie movie.
Oh, are you gonna go for Barbenheimer?
I mean, they're both on my Apple TV right now, so I could do that in the comfort of my own home. I hate going to the movie theater.
Me too. Yeah. I hate the theater so much.
I'll do it for The Boy and the Heron.
Yeah, I'll do it for special occasions, like The Boy and the Heron and the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Yeah, but yeah, pop some corn and have an at-home Barbenheimer.
Yeah. I would have done it for the Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, but it didn't go to theaters.
Yeah.
Anyway. I haven't seen the Barbie movie yet. I
Mhm.
don't have a very strong drive to see it.
Yeah, me neither.
It seems like it'd be a nice thing to see. I just here's the other
It
thing. I'm gonna start trying to watch movies, but I'm going to be breaking them up. I'm not gonna watch them in one sitting because that's always been my big deterrent. I hate sitting down for 2 hours for something I may hate.
Yeah.
So I figured if I just chop things up into episodes, then it'll be easier.
Yeah. And
Psychologically,
I
anyway.
admittedly I read the plot of the Barbie movie and I was like, no, thank you.
It
I
could.
just I like to be informed
Hmm.
about things that are touching the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
See, I never have,
Um,
and I'm not starting now.
um,
I only care about
That's the
Gen Z
difference is
TikTok.
I make a habit to consume a lot of what people are talking about.
Oh, and that's
Yeah.
fair.
I
Um,
like to be aware of what people are talking about, and I can actually trace back to when I made the conscious decision to do that, when a friend was just like, say what you will about Twilight, it's clearly resonating with millions and millions of people. And if you're interested in getting your own work read or noticed, it's probably a good idea to figure out what about this specifically is resonating.
Nah.
So I try and like think
I
about it
feel
in
like
those
I'm
terms.
doing just fine.
Yeah. And to be fair, I don't think I'm capable of making the kind of work that resonates with, a billion people. I just don't think I
yeah,
got that
it's
in me.
also like I it's just like I stopped watching the MCU movies mostly because they're very samey.
Mhm.
So Barbie is at least different.
Yes.
Um and that like level of camp um is interesting in its sort of uniqueness. But
Mhm.
so like even if I don't like it, which I feel like it might be a little bit too buzzwordy um for me to really really dig it, but
Mhm.
I would like to be informed.
Yeah, same. I'm not going to ever make something like Twilight, but it's, I'm aware of why it happened the way it did. And I think part of that is sort of the Iron Circus mission statement, which is I'm not going to compete with Disney. I'm not going to compete with 20th Century Fox. I'm not, going up against those people and trying to follow in their wake and make the same shit. That's not going
Mhm.
to work for me. But what I think movies that have made ripples very recently, not just in, oh, they made $1 million at the box office, but people won't shut the fuck up about them. Like that's the stuff you should pay attention to. People won't shut the fuck up about them. um I think it's because they are tapping audiences that are not accustomed to being catered to so directly. And it's
Yeah.
really fucking sad for our society that one of
We
those
live in a
audiences
society.
yeah, one of those audiences is just, women. That's fucking sad. But like that's kind of how it is. And you saw the same phenomenon with Black Panther, where,
Mhm.
black people weren't used to getting cool fantasy environment full of its own sort of interesting notions of, you know, governance and technology and aesthetic. We're very used to sort of
Mhm.
like a very specific, not even European, a very specific portion of Europe informing everyone's fantasy aesthetic. And when that
Mhm.
didn't happen, suddenly everyone just went, "Oh shit!" and they went nuts for Black Panther. And yeah, I see it right now in Enter the Spider Verse. It's interesting, and it's only slightly dampened by the abject knowledge that the most Hollywood will learn from the overwhelming success of something like Enter the Spider Verse is, okay, that thing we're going to animate it exactly like that now.
You say that, but it has already had extremely positive ripples onto other movies that are extremely
Yeah.
obvious. And it's not just aping styles, it's also aping the creativity and the fluidity. Like,
That's good.
for example, Puss in Boots, what was it called? Oh, the Push
The Last Wish.
The Last Wish did not have to go as hard as it did. It was one of those movies where you're watching going, the animators had so much fucking fun with this. This is a Shrek sequel, technically. They didn't have to go this hard, and they did. And I've also seen it in other movies too.
What it is.
Huh?
You call it a sequel, and you're not wrong, but I know there's like a word for specifically something that spin-offs. Yeah, there it is. Thank you. That's
but at the same time, there's a Disney movie that's called Wish, I think, that's coming out. Mm-hmm. And that does feel like what you're talking about, where it feels like they were like, oh shit, we need to make this look different, and they slapped it. It really feels like they slapped some kind of rendering filter.
A filter.
Yeah, that's how it feels. I don't know how else to describe it. It's very like.
No, that's the perfect word for it. I know exactly what you mean.
It looks like there was a point in this movie's development where it looked exactly like Rapunzel.
Yeah.
And they tweaked it slightly. So that I do think that is happening. But I also do think that there have been very positive, obvious ripple effects from Spider-Verse of let your artist fucking cook.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that's an important it's weird. I do
want to see the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. I do want to see that.
Yeah.
It looks so cute.
You know, without spilling beans, I guess is the best way to put it. Without putting my business in the street, as grandmas might say. The sort of the rigidity with which Hollywood functions is shocking to me. It's one of those things where it's clear there is a system. It's been in place for a long time. A lot of people are very used to the system. And they will try to adhere to the system even when it makes literally no sense to follow the system checklist. You know what I mean? It's like, we don't need to do half of this. Half of what's on your list, we don't need to do it. We can just jump ahead. We can cut in line here. And they'll be like, yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So anyway, what we're going to need you to do here at square one, it's like, no, we don't need to do square one. We did that. It's done. It's like, no. We get what you mean. We get what you mean. So after you're done at square one, you're going to go to square two. And like, we're at fucking square 17. And it's like, you know what? I think this conversation's over. But yeah, it's
here's the thing.
In the conversations I've had with other people who have dealt with like the similar thing, like the rigidity of the way Hollywood functions is just, it's one of those things where it feels like a significant change is on the horizon. You know, like the way things are being done it's not sustainable, especially with sort of the media landscape nowadays where everything is kind of catamaried to like 2 or 3 large companies where every production is $100 million. And it's not sustainable, you know?
Yeah.
When it comes to movies, like, I don't think I'm like a responsible movie viewer, and I don't think I'm seeing movies that I think will enrich my life or broaden my horizons or anything. At the end of the day, I'm really just seeing movies that just make me happy. It's just that there's not a lot of those that tickle my fancy, so I get excited about the ones that do. So it's like, at the end of the day, I'm not really the kind of person. I always feel weird talking with friends because like, I'm not here to broaden my horizons, bro. I'm just here for a good time. It's just what I like is seldom and far between.
Yeah, sure. And you know, that's totally okay. Like a lot of people enjoy film and television where it's like, no, I don't want to fucking learn anything, bro. I want to see some vampires fight.
Sometimes I want to learn things, but I'm not going to sit through a slog for like to broaden my, I don't know. I'm a lazy bitch.
I get it.
I want to consume sometimes.
Yeah, and it's okay to consume. Yeah. I mean, there are times I just want to.
I want to see the new Ninja Turtle movie because it looks fucking cute.
Yeah, and that's all the justification you need. Like, oh, it appeals to me. I'm going to probably find time to watch it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Not everything has to be a Dan Olsen 2.5-hour documentary.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I love those. I fucking love them. But they don't.
That's fine. No, I like documentaries. Well, most of them.
Also, I am trying to sort of mesh what we're talking about, like let people enjoy things functionally is what we're doing here. We're sitting here going, let people enjoy things.
I
And
didn't say that.
simultaneously, I'm sort of skimming news stories about the sphere and the sphere.
Well, like,
Its big debut thing is U2 basically doing a best of concert from like Achtung Baby. And I'm pretty sure that album is older than a few people listening to this right now. And it's like, do you have anything else? Because I'd like to see the sphere, but I'm not super interested in listening to Achtung Baby.
I don't know what that is.
Exactly.
yeah. But like, so like when it comes to like the Barbie movie, it's like even if I don't like it, I feel like I appreciate that it's very, very focused in the aesthetic it's leaning into.
Mhm.
And so I think like that makes it unique. Um Even if it is just like a 2 hour long advertisement for Mattel. And I think there was an interview with the agent for the lady that directed it. And what he said kind of summed up a little bit of the feelings I have about the movie without seeing it. Which he's like, everyone's praising it for having this like message about society. And
Mhm.
he's like, yeah, it's great. Like so and so had a very unique vision, and but it's a shame that like they could only tell it when it's attached to some big multi-million-dollar brand.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Um
Have you ever
and
heard the U2 song Mysterious Ways, Amanda?
I don't know. I probably did at some point, but that doesn't mean I recognize the title.
Okay. Yeah, that's like the one YouTube song I know, and apparently that's the one off Octoon Baby. And yeah, that album is like fucking 33 years old. So there's definitely people around here who
I
are.
mean, they probably picked that because someone in charge of the sphere likes it.
Oh yeah, oh that or it's a sure thing. And also, I'm sure they know more
Doesn't
about the
U2 do
demographic
Vegas
graphics.
shows?
Huh?
I thought U2 did Vegas shows. Am I misremembering?
The Sphere is in Vegas.
I know.
Yeah,
So
they do
I'm saying
Vegas shows.
synergy. Vegas
Yeah, yeah.
synergy.
Yeah, basically like how am I going to say this?
With
Las
words.
Vegas is where you go when your trajectory is no longer up and you have plateaued, but you have plateaued at sufficient height. It's like you're kind of done, but you're also kind of
Like
not.
Katy Perry.
Yeah, like Katy Perry and Celine Dion, and yeah, that's where you go, because then you do residencies and you just perform for super fucking drunk people like 3 nights out of the week, and you make $1 million each time. And it's just you're kind of done when you're in Vegas, even though you're kind of not.
Okay.
Yeah. So YouTube, I guess, is they've peaked and they know it, so they're just gonna play their 30-year-old album for like drunk boomers.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, are we circling back to something here?
No.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just I'm just thinking
This
about
was a
like
story time with
my
Spot.
initial thing is like
Okay,
I like
gotcha,
the
gotcha.
sphere. I'd like to look at the sphere, but oh wait, no, I really don't want to go see U2. But I guess,
Well, don't go look at the sphere. I think this U2 thing will be scheduled, won't it?
yes, and I was just thinking to myself, well, I imagine what they're doing is they're looking at the kind of people who go to Vegas. And they're probably people who are like, 20 years older than me, and Achtung Baby means a lot to them, and so they're gonna go and see U2 in the sphere.
Yeah.
Lindsay Ellis recently did an interesting video on Nebula
Hmm.
about Vegas's attempt to be kid friendly.
That was very dumb. I remember those years.
Um,
That was so dumb.
well, so she talks about how, yes, it failed, but like, in a way, it sort of laid the groundwork for what became sort of a society change in general, where it turns out adults like themed shit too. So
Yeah.
It's not that they had to make it kid friendly. They like when they have their like here's our circus themed whatever going on.
Mhm.
They don't need to say kid friendly. They can just say it's circus themed. Do you want to come? Some adults will want to come.
Yeah, me.
For sure.
And that's kind of like that has helped boost Disney sales, like Disneyland and Disney World sales, because they realized, oh, there's some adults that grew up on Disney shit and like just want to come.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that they want to bring their kids. It's like Vegas trying to be more kid friendly made it so that that sort of opened the doors for not just Vegas, but also Disney World and Disneyland to start to be like, oh, adults liked themed shit too, so we can just,
Yeah,
Mhm.
cater to us who are cringe. I'm
Yes.
here. I'm waiting.
yeah,
Be
basically.
cringe and free.
I am cringe and I am free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
oddly enough, the people that have the least fun at Vegas
Mhm.
are college students
Interesting.
because they're not old enough to drink yet.
Ah. Huh. I guess that
So
makes sense.
so there's stuff for like younger kids at Vegas now,
Mhm.
and there's stuff for anyone who's older than 21.
Yeah.
But yeah, the that in between is when they're like, "Oh, we don't know what to do with you."
Mhm.
I love
Yeah,
stuff. I love stuff like that because one, my favorite activity is people watching,
Mhm.
and two, I just like silly shit. I love silly
Yeah.
shit.
I like have a list of things I want to do. Like I am planning eventually going to Vegas, and my primary thing is I want to write it off. Like I want to be able to make it a business trip, which is why I've been obsessed with the licensing fair. And
Yeah.
I am sitting here just thinking to myself, yeah, when I do the licensing fair, I am going to stay on like 2 or 3 days afterwards, and I'm going to do a bunch of shit. And so I've been sort of low key planning like the shit I want to do out in Vegas. And the Sphere is one of them. I'll figure out a way to do something I feel like doing there. And another one, I won't fucking shut up about it. This must be the 15th time I've mentioned it on this show, but I want to go to the Meow Wolf Omega Mart. And then when that's done, I want to do all the fucking buffets because those are lost leaders in Vegas. They just want you to go and like gamble for 2 hours after you do the buffets. And I don't gamble. So
Neither do I. Take me with you.
And eat the free,
I don't drink and I
lobster
don't
bites.
gamble. Take me with you.
Exactly. And then, I will
just
do
want to
some
look
people
at weird
watching.
shit and
I'd
eat
like to,
food.
yeah, I'd like to get like, a mocktail and walk up and down the strip and just absorb because people are going to be fucking weird out there.
They don't let you walk
And
around with those.
just absorb. What? I would like a nice, virgin slushy, just fucking like something I could get from the 7-Eleven.
Oh,
It's the
then it's just a
desert. I'm gonna want
slushie.
something cool.
Just get a slushie. What do you mean a mocktail?
Yeah. Well, that's what they'll call it, is what I'm saying.
No, that's not what they call the slushies.
I mean,
And they won't let you leave with them either because they usually put them in their special glasses.
Yeah, they let you leave with them if you walk up and down the strip. I've been watching a
Really?
Vegas. Yeah, I've been watching a Vegas kind of
even if they put them in glass
influencer.
containers?
Yeah, they not glass containers. They give you these barbell shaped things that are like 5 feet tall, and they fill them with slushy and alcohol. So.
Oh yeah, they do that at Six Flags.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of what I've seen from Mardi Gras too. Like they'll just give you these
that's just
giant
standard carnival
goofy
shit.
cups. So there's that.
Okay,
And
I thought you were talking about when you talk about like mocktails. That's literally
no, not like a martini glass or something.
Okay, because that's usually what a mocktail's in.
But they have all these little experiences you can go to, and I would like to see some of the experiences. And then this is the fun part that I want to tack on the end. When I'm finished with Vegas, you can catch a bus from Vegas to the Grand Canyon and just do camping for like a week. And I'm one of those people that kind of has a mild shame that I live in the United fucking States and I've never been to the Grand Canyon, and that's silly.
I have no interest in going to the Grand Canyon.
I want to look at the big hole.
I've seen a picture of the big hole.
I want to walk around. I want to go on a burro ride through the big hole. So that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to go to the Grand Canyon after Vegas and then fly home and then write it all off and be like, it was business. It's business. It's business time.
Mm.
That's the joke no one gets anymore, but it's okay.
What joke?
Flight of the Conchords.
You say like
They
no
sang.
more, like I would have gotten it at some point.
Yeah. In
Yeah,
Flight of the
Amanda wasn't
Conchords.
gonna get a Flight of the Conchords reference, period.
Yeah. Little joke about
It's a
on Wednesday they
picturesque
have
big
sex,
hole.
and he
Well,
refers to it as
dang, that's
business
different.
time, and it's funny. It's a picture. Yes, Kristen is right. It's a picturesque hole, big hole, Amanda. It's great.
I am just not interested.
Yeah, fair enough. I
I
would
like
love
really
to go on a
people
tour.
centric shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really a sightseer when it comes to like pretty stuff to look at, but I do like people centric sick. Shark.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
good-
that
good
is my big
mouth.
Vegas trip that I am planning in the next couple of years. You know, when I have the
Yeah,
justification to
claim
go
you're
out
writing
there.
a giant comic about Vegas, and then you
Yeah. Do it, write a
canceled
travel log, and then sell it for like $1 on Gumroad, and like there, it was a business trip.
Is it a car backfiring?
Yes.
I hope so. My windows face an alley, and I hear noises sometimes.
Yeah.
Ravioli, did you hear it too?
I live on a high floor in my building, and I have a pair of binoculars by the window because I'm kind of a piece of shit.
So
And
you're a peeping Tom.
and what ends up happening is when I hear something interesting going down on the ground floor because of the, you know, I live in a city, and
Poorcraft Vegas. Poorcraft Vegas. Yeah.
the sound bounces up really high. So sometimes I'll hear shit going down in the street, and I'm like, ooh, and like something out of an old Will Eisner graphic novel about, you know, people in the city and how weird they are. I'll grab my binoculars and I'll pull up the blinds and I'll open the window and peep out with my binoculars.
Of
and
course
look
you
down.
would.
And I remember once there was this, it was very strange because it made no sense. I live across the street from a few bars, and out in front of one bar, at like 2 a.m., there was this woman who she looked fine, you know, like it looked like there was nothing wrong with her. And she was sitting on the curb, and she was otherwise, you know, like clean, looked like she'd showered recently, looked like she had a home to go to. So you wouldn't suspect this was any sort of, you know, like person who had chronic issues with dealing with things. But she was just sitting on the
There
curb,
goes Spike, generalizing again.
and there were 3 or 4 people trying very unsuccessfully to comfort her in a way that kind of made it clear they didn't really know her, but you know, they were just sort of like there, like no hugs or anything. And she was just screaming over and over and over, top of her lungs, loud as she could, over and over and over, and just not stopping. So you have to picture just
Yeah.
like, and it's clear from the body language. Some of these people, because I have binoculars, so I can see very clearly what's going on. So from the body language, some people are like asking her, "What is wrong?" And she just wouldn't say anything. And she just sat on the curb in front of the bar, and her face was like, she was a white lady, so her face was like beat red by the time I was over there watching all this. And it was like something that sticks with me, like, wow, people can get that red, huh?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she just
I mean, white people can.
she just screamed and screamed and screamed and screamed until an ambulance showed up, and the ambulance people got out, the EMTs got out,
My
and they
ex-husband actually used to call me Pink Face.
I'm sorry.
I get very pink in the face when I'm overexerted.
Yeah, and the ambulance people tried talking to her, and you know, spoiler, she didn't talk to them.
Uh-huh.
She just kept screaming. And then eventually they just very gently led her to, like, you know, the gurney and put her on it, still screaming. Just
Yeah.
loaded her into the ambulance and closed the door behind her and just drove off. And just everybody was just gonna stand
Sometimes
there.
you gotta scream.
Yeah, you just gotta scream.
What is the point of the story?
Yeah, it's just I was just thinking about that
Oh,
later.
okay.
The point is that Spike is a creep,
I'm a huge
and
creep. I'm a huge creep. Massive creep.
I'm just saying.
but we already knew that.
Sometimes
Yeah.
people have mental health breaks. Shit happens.
Yeah.
Don't judge me, Spike.
Yeah, and that woman's name was Amanda Lafreniere. Yeah.
Maybe. You don't know. I get
But
really
yeah.
red in the face.
Yeah, and that was one of the more interesting things that happened where I live. So I enjoy people watching as much as you do, Amanda, in my own special way.
Here's the thing, that's not the people watching I like.
Oh, I fucking love that. I love that.
Like, for example, we went to the Ren Fair recently with a bunch of friends, and they were concerned I wasn't having a good time because I just kept sitting down and not going to, like, all the different stuff, and I was just kind of sitting down like, no, I'm having a good time. Because, like, there's, like, a couple over there that are, like, in costume together, but, like, they've been snort laughing at their, like, a YouTube video on their phone, and that's just really funny to me. Like, I don't know, these people in period costumes snort laughing at a YouTube video. It just tickles me. And, like, there's a family over there. And, like, I don't know, the kid is saying some whack-ass funny shit. And the parents are not appreciating how funny this child... You know, things like that. I like shit like that. I just, like...
Yeah.
I don't know, people are not... I like people. They're neat.
People are neat.
I like people. They're cool.
In their own way. One of the things that I like most about people is how reliably and uniformly people's brains break sometimes.
I don't think I want to talk about this.
As someone with, like, chronic mental health issues,
no, all I'll say
like,
is
sitting
that
here quietly
every
backing
single
away,
no,
like,
every single one of us, down to the person, has the same exploits. Like a piece of operating software for Microsoft, we all have the same exploit, and it is our duty as functioning members of society to do our best to be aware when somebody is trying to backdoor us. That's all I'm going to say. We are all vulnerable to the same sort of speech. And it's important to know when someone is trying to bamboozle us. Yeah.
What is the relevant? Like, where's
Like I
this
said,
coming from?
I
What are
don't
you
wanna
talking
talk about this.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. I don't know where this came from. I don't know what this is relevant to. I have no idea what you're saying. Is this a Garfield meme? You are not immune to propaganda?
It's kind of like that, yes.
Okay.
It's very much you are not immune to propaganda. And you know what my favorite example of that is? People my age who are like, you know, Gen Xers, where Soviet Russia was like still a thing. There is a famous quote from one of the former leaders of the Soviet Union named Khrushchev.
The Soda Union.
Named Khrushchev. And it was
I love a ginger
the scene I was always told as a child and you know, a high schooler and college age person was him taking his shoe off at the UN and banging it on like a gavel on the podium and screaming at the American diplomat, "We will bury you." And that was sort of the image of Khrushchev that has persisted in the West. Is this sort of like insane commie war hawk, you know, who wanted to destroy America. And you can to this day find an old Time magazine cover of Khrushchev doing that with his fist in the air and making that face. And behind him is a literal mushroom cloud. Like that is how that got disseminated in the West. Khrushchev screaming, "We will bury you," with a mushroom cloud behind him. However, what he was talking about, that quote was taken completely out of context. And what he was talking about is something that I myself say all the time, which is, you know, socialism will win. There's kind of no point in engaging in a lot of these silly little arguments with people who are doing their best to defend capitalism, because if you look at demographic trends, if you look at trends in societies, people who are opposed to it will die. Younger people are more pro-socialism and communism all the time. Socialism will win, and there's kind of nothing you can do about it. And Khrushchev, when he said, "We will bury you," he wasn't talking about America. He was talking about capitalism. And he was also expressing his opinion on the inevitability of people realizing capitalism is unsustainable and opting instead for communist and socialist governments. But that is not how it was reported to Americans.
Obviously.
Yeah. And he never banged his shoe on a podium. It was an old fucking school Photoshop. It literally never happened. So we are not immune to propaganda.
I mean, I knew that, but thank you, Spike.
Yes. And that's what I think
Garfield
of
taught
sometimes.
me
Just be
that.
careful about the kind of shit you're being fed, especially with, you know, wars going on right now.
I don't know how we got on this.
Yeah, I don't know where this came from.
It's what I wanted to talk about.
No,
so I'm
that's
just saying.
fair. That's fair. But it felt like there was like a branching of like connections, and it's like I didn't
Think before you re-skeet, everyone. Think
no
before you
re-skeeting at all.
Yeah, think before you re-skeet. We are all vulnerable to propaganda, and we all have the same exploits that someone can run a hack on. So be careful.
I want someone to backdoor me. Someone like big and strong.
Amanda, please.
No. I'm just saying. Big strong lady.
Big strong lady.
Strong
Please
lady.
backdoor me.
All I
please.
want to do is see you turn into a giant woman.
And backdoor me. Please.
Like, just remember. what
It's
you
my
wanted.
birthday next month. Please.
No, Kristen Cheney, he did not take off his shoe. That literally did not happen. There is a person who said it happened, and people went source, and they could not provide any sort of evidence or anyone to corroborate their story. I believe a magazine ran a Photoshop that was a recreation based on the person's description, and that circulated as here's a photo of Khrushchev banging the podium with his shoe. It just didn't happen.
Amanda would like Karlach or something. Is that Baldur's Gate 3? I'm looking it up.
Baldur's Gate seems to be the thing everyone's playing now.
Yeah, it's a new game that people like.
Yeah, I thought for sure
it's-
that the conversation.
Big lady with horns! Big lady with
It's a
horns and a
fantasy
tail?
game where you can kiss the other members of your party.
Yeah.
So it's very popular.
Big
Yeah, I thought
lady
for
with
sure the
horns and a
conversation
tail.
these days would be about Starfield, but everyone just seems to be kind of shrugging at that one, huh?
Here's the thing.
Can
I've
you
been
kiss
watching...
anyone in Starfield?
I'm sure you can.
Here's my thing with Starfield. I was never interested in it. I was never going to play it. And but I've been watching other people play it, and it kind of reinforced why I never was going to play it. It's because
Okay, but I don't want to know any spoilers.
this isn't spoilers.
Okay.
This is just it's because it is the most boring and frankly it's a really real like if we went to space and we were doing convoys and space trading and stuff, it kind of feels very realistic. It's very grounded and it's extremely boring. The characters are really boring and the ships look really boring and the outfits you can like collect and wear, it's just kind of like it looks really practical, but I'm not interested. It's like
So it seems like the reason why people maybe don't like it is because even if you can kiss someone, people don't want to kiss
I've
them.
seen those. Those designs are dead-eyed, and I don't want to kiss none of them. I know they're robots. They can't lie to me.
Whereas all the clips I see of Baldur's Gate 3 are like, hey, this is what happens when you like properly pay your voice actors and give them enough room, let them improv a little. And it's a scene where one of the characters, it's apparently in one part like a building can almost fall on a character. So the clip starts with the building falls on the character, and then they do a revival spell on the character to bring him back to life. And he's like, "Excuse me, what the fuck was that about?" Like, and they're like, "I'm sorry," and he's like, "Oh, you're sorry. You just let a building fall on me." Like,
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm sure Starfield is fun for people.
They got a lot of personality.
Yeah, I'm sure Starfield is fun for people. I know it's just not for me. There's not enough like I guess humanity in it to have so many humans. It's like I don't like any of these people. I just don't like them. It would have been better if you had no humans at all. Have me interact with like robots or something.
Oh my.
But again, I'm not playing it. I'll never probably play it. I just was watching other people to see if it was something I wanted to play.
Literally knew absolutely nothing about it other than its name. So I didn't know if it was like a colony management game like RimWorld or if it was like so
Yeah.
That is how little people are talking about it.
Yeah, it's like it's just like kind of a non-entity. I'm seeing way
It
more
feels
excitement
like
for
so many
city.
other
Yeah,
games too.
yeah. There's a lot more excitement for City Skylines 2 than I've seen for Starfield.
Oh yeah, but to be fair, they put a bunch of dorks in a. They lifted them how many feet in the air to play a city building game?
Yeah,
It's like, okay, that's really above and beyond. I don't know why you did that, but have fun.
yeah. Yeah, I am very much looking forward to it, and I'm following a guy. I recommend him very much on YouTube called City Planner Plays, and he is doing a very meticulous walkthrough of all the differences between City Skylines and City Skylines 2. And he's really making me excited because he's like, look how nice the new road laying system is. And look, they do that thing that I actually liked from the SimCity relaunch, which is like, let's say you put down a fire station, but then your city grows and you want the fire station to be bigger. You can like plop another engine onto the fire station. Like they do that in the new City Skylines. So I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
that. And
I like games like that.
yeah. So I'm probably gonna get that pretty much,
But I
release
was
day.
very happy with how many YouTubers quickly broke it. That was very good.
Honestly, part of the reason I like City Planner Plays is like I think the impulse for most people playing City Skyline is immediately flood everything with sewage.
No, 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 not that. What I'm talking
Uh,
about is, I can't. Which YouTuber was it? I think it might have been Ambiguous Amphibian who found out he could fund his entire city with parks.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I like Ambiguous Amphibian and Let's Game It Out because
yeah.
they're more about not breaking it and we're just gonna ruin everything, but more like, oh, they didn't really think about this mechanic, did they? I'm gonna run
Yeah.
this into the ground.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's Game It Out is fantastic because I like it when he just goes, hold please. And then there's like
yep.
a black screen that says 5 hours later. And he's built like a roller coaster that takes up the entire map.
It's like these are like people that's like these are really the play testers you should have had,
Yeah.
frankly. But
You
you
play
didn't
test.
know. But you didn't know someone could break your game this bad, did you?
Yeah.
That's kind of why for a while I really liked the Spiffy Brit.
Oh yeah. Same.
Because he is like, here's how you break your game.
Yeah.
This is a thing that's broken in the game and we're gonna exploit it. He um I remember he did a RimWorld game where um they've now patched this so you can't do this anymore. But you could have unlimited um uh rituals in ideology for a little while.
Mhm.
So he just like copy pasted the same ritual over and over and over again. So they would get a new recruit for doing the ritual successfully, but the ritual involved extracting someone's organs. So he would like rip out a colonist's organs, but then they'd get a new colonist because the ritual went well. Like, and it would just repeat an infinitum, and that's how he had infinite organs to sell to traders.
That's a good way to do it, though. Honestly.
I love that. I just love people who like look at a game mechanic and go, "You didn't think this through." Either on accident or on purpose. That's my favorite thing. Like Call Me Kevin when his werewolf ate the blackboard, so his character could not graduate from high school.
Yeah. I had a God, what was I gonna say? I had a whole thing in RimWorld for a while there where I had. All right, so I have a bunch of mods installed. I should just.
Oh yeah,
preface that with
obviously.
that. I had a bunch of mods installed, and one of the mods that I have installed adds a new, air quotes race, but what it basically is awakened androids. So it's robots who are self-aware and sapient and sentient, and they
No sapient,
don't
I
need to
think.
sleep, don't need to eat, don't need to like shower or clean themselves. They can not heal, which is like a problem. But the thing is, a persistent issue in RimWorld is getting your arm blown off, or getting your toe shot off or something. Like you can just reattach spare parts to them. and they're so fucking overpowered, and I love them. They
But
like
weirdly not toes, just whole hands and feet.
do-
You can't have a
but yeah, I
prosthetic
have
toe in RimWorld.
the way I play RimWorld these days is I like to build up a colony and then like check in on them and not really progress towards endgame. I just like to have a nice little colony that kind of has an identity. And the one that I have now is just like the robots like to make wine and cheese, and people come to stay with them for a while and then eat at their restaurant and have the wine and cheese. And they go home and talk about what great wine and cheese the robots make.
I
And it's like,
mean,
that's
good
it.
for the robots.
Yeah, they're very good. They're very good vintners and uh cheese makers, whatever you call a cheese maker.
A cheesemonger.
I guess I thought a monger only sells cheese. Like a fishmonger doesn't make
Uh,
fish.
I I just
What do
there was
you
an Always
call
Sunny
someone
episode
who makes
where the gang
cheese?
goes to there's an Always Sunny
Oh.
episode recently called The Gang Goes to Ireland.
Hmm.
And Charlie Day's character is told that his Irish pen pal is a cheesemonger.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, so he's a cheese monster. Okay. And then he refers to him as a cheese monster the rest of the show.
I regret to inform you all that what you call someone who makes cheese is a cheesemaker.
No,
It,
that's a
but
bit of a
if you
letdown.
want to use the French word, it could be fromager.
Fromage.
I don't know French.
That sounds better. Fromage.
My last name's French, but I stole that bitch.
Fromage. But yeah, I'd have the cutest little colony now, where it's just robots who who make classy snacks for like the visiting Neanderthals. And this is like absolutely not how the game is meant to be played, but too fucking bad. That's how I play it. That's the beauty of RimWorld. It's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
I love turning my enemies into animals that I can then slaughter.
I fell off the RimWorld wagon and I just haven't been interested in returning, but I'll probably get the itch eventually.
The vanilla expanded mod people are making a werewolf mod, and you know I'm gonna jump on that.
They just added the vehicles mod, and I'm fucking in love with it.
They also added fungus zombies.
Yeah, I did see that.
I'm annoyed that the fungus zombies came out before the werewolves. Because I do not care for zombies. Of any flavor.
But I just the vehicle mods are you can like have tanks now. I have made some tanks just so I can like put my little people in it and they can leave through the garage door from the citadel that they live in and go run over wildlife. I fucking love like running over like rabbits, bears with the tank. It's great.
I have Rim of Magic, and that's a lot of fun.
I keep accidentally killing animals in Warframe.
Oops.
In the open worlds, there's a character I like to play who basically her power is she summons it's basically a hoverboard, and she also has a power that has spinning blades around her. So I jokingly call her the lawnmower. And whenever she's flying over the open world, if I pass over one of the animals, I kill it, and it's like, oh, there goes another one. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh shit, the dude from the village is gonna scold me again. But I keep doing it because it's very fun to be a lawnmower. God, she's fun. Get in the blender, everybody.
I still haven't done the one thing I wanted to make, which is like genetic abomination pig people who were cannibals. I've been wanting to do that forever, but I just never got around to it.
I kind of want to do a bunny cult in caves, like
in caves.
Well, because Pond Morpher updated that now rabbits are good at mining because they have to dig their little burrows. So I was like, if I made them like tunneler ideology, they're like cave dwelling rabbit monster people. I kind of want to do something with that.
It makes sense. I mean, rabbits do live in warrens, so it does make sense.
Yeah. Because because like my current playthrough's all my wolf people. So
Yeah.
All right,
I
ding
also
dongs.
I was also trying to have a colony that was one of every type of furry. Um, because I realized with Pond Morpher, I always make them wolves. For obvious reasons. So just to see what the whole mod has to offer. Have like one of each furry. But man, that's taken fucking forever. I'm at 25 different colonists right now.
Holy shit, your game
and
must run like molasses.
well, my computer's new, so no.
All right.
It runs great. It does slow down when people attack.
I'll bet.
But for the most part, it runs okay. There was like I had to turn off the shadows on items or whatever. But after I did that, I think the only issue I'm having with the frame rate is I think there's like a memory leak issue because usually if I just restart the game, it starts to run faster again.
Yeah, I was for a while. I had the most efficient and like carbon neutral corpse disposal system in RimWorld ever. It was amazing, and I was amazing. I just every time people attacked me, I would take their corpses and I'd throw them in the freezer. And I had like 30 rats living in the freezer, and the rats would just eat the corpses, so I didn't have to do anything about it. It was fantastic. It was so useful. But then it got to the point where it's like, why is the game running so fucking slow? I was like, oh, it's because I have like dozens of rats breeding out of control in the freezer. So the game has to track, no matter its size, the game needs to track every single one of these little creatures, like eating the eyeballs out of the corpse's head.
Oh my God.
And because of that, oh right, this is bad. So I eventually had to get rid of all my rats and replace them with Tasmanian devils, which also eat my corpses. But they eat more of the corpses and there's fewer of them, so it's more efficient, really.
Well, what I do is I grind those corpses up into genetic paste and
As
then
one
make
does.
hybrid animals out of them.
As one does.
But first we take all their organs out so we can sell them on the black market.
I just sell a lot of wine and cheese. I am more moral than you.
They're dead bodies. They aren't going to use those organs.
That's what it's Tasmanian devil chow. And it is also 10 p.m. over
Which
here.
is right. So ding dongs. Wait.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
Pick a subject for the next episode.
Let's
talk about a thing. Pick a thing.
Mangas.
Like, what about them? Just in general?
I won't have anything to say.
You have a week to find something. No, okay. Let's talk about. Okay, I just want to pick a subject. I want to pick a subject. I know, Kel, you don't want to talk about anything businessy just yet.
Yes, and I especially don't want to talk about social media.
No,
I hate social media.
not.
I was dying while Spike was talking about threads. I like aggressively don't care.
We can talk about how the moon landings were faked.
No, let's want to talk about I don't know. I don't know how to talk about things anymore. Help.
The 5-year plan.
What?
We can all talk about our 5-year plan. No?
I'd rather fucking die.
Okay.
The future is nebulous and scares me.
We can talk about times people have tried to scam us. How about that?
No.
Yeah.
That doesn't really happen to me.
Yeah, I don't really have one of those.
I have one sitting on my desk right now, which is why I thought of it.
Amanda, what are our old dirty old ladies episodes?
I don't have it open anymore. We had stuff about how to sell your work. We had stuff about conventions. We had stuff about Oh god, we kind of covered the basics.
Yeah, we did. There was like just nothing to talk about near the end.
But here's the thing, like you were saying, no, there was tons to talk about. We just didn't have time to edit anymore. But
Okay,
but
how
here's the
about
thing.
this?
Now here's the thing. A lot of them were business based, and Kel said that they don't want to do businessy talk.
How about
I'm
we
just
do? How about we do a Clockwork Orange question, which is basically if there was one movie you could sit your friends down and make them watch, what would it be?
That's not a theme for an episode, is it?
I'm trying to help.
We're bad at this. I'm bad at this. But the problem, I have a lot I could suggest, but they're all kind of businessy. Like I wanted to talk maybe about the state of conventions in general as a whole.
I wouldn't mind talking about conventions.
But that's businessy.
But you haven't been to any in years.
Wow, I went to ALA a couple months ago.
It'd be neat to talk about like how we actually produce our stuff. But then Spike can't talk about that.
Wow, rude.
Spike doesn't
You
draw.
don't. I'm sorry. I'm being considerate.
I have been drawing this whole time, but okay.
You're the one who said you didn't. I'm being considerate.
Then why am I crying? Look, we can think of something at this point, something during this week, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Maybe I'll crowdsource it. Please
Yeah,
think for me. I'm tired and old.
Yeah. I am Spike. Thank you for listening. You can find me on Blue Sky at Iron Spike, all one word. You could also find me as Iron Spike, all one word, on Pillow Fort, which is where I post my webcomic Placata. I'll get back to it soon, I swear, especially since I told someone I really admire and respect the URL. So now I feel I am desperately under pressure to actually start updating it again.
Under pressure.
You can also go on co-host where I am Iron Spike, all one word, and there you can find a totally different webcomic, and it is called Ordinary, and it is about a little black void creature named Aphan and his friend who is a human but also a monster named Ruben. And I will get back to that one day, I promise. My life exploded recently. I have a lot going on. If you go to ironcircus.com, you will see the heart of the Iron Circus media empire. And that is where you will find all of our comics for sale. We have a crowdfund launching in less than a week. Next Tuesday, Indigenerds comes to BackerKit. Indigenerds comes to BackerKit.
I thought it was Monday, and then I was like, no, wait, yes, it is Tuesday.
No, yeah, it's Tuesday. It is basically Tales of Modern Indigenous Life by nerdy Indigenous creators, writers, and artists, edited by Alita, who was a co-editor.
It's supposed to be how they combine their love of mainstream pop culture with traditional Indigenous ways.
Yeah. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to grab and a good thing to read. And we positioned it between fucking Canadian Thanksgiving and American Thanksgiving. And yes.
Spike, it does launch Monday.
Oh, Monday? Shit. I thought it was
because it launches the 16th and Monday is the 16th.
Okay, I was wrong. It launches Monday, and if you back it on, are we doing first hour? I think.
Yes, first hour.
In the first hour, per usual with Iron Circus crowdfunds, you get free domestic and reduced domestic shipping. So be there on launch day. If you go to backerkit.com, you will see it on the launching soon page. Sign up to be alerted the very hour it launches so you do not miss out.
I made the video.
Yes. I'm done.
I'm Kel. I make comics about gay werewolves in the future at kelmcdonald.com. You should go read them. They're good gay werewolves.
I'm Amanda Lafrene, AMANDA-LAFRENAIS. Again, I keep forgetting to update my shit, but if you go to cohost.org/AmandaLaugh, as in laugh, haha, then my pinned post is a where to find me post. It lists all my shit, where to read my webcomic, where I am on social media, my website, my Patreon, my Coffee, my itch.io, even an Amazon wish list because my birthday's coming up, and also my cat exists and deserves things. The end.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Like and save and follow.
No.
Yes.